Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ongoing Mastery, Presenting and Speaking, the podcast and the interview. And today we have got Michael Coleman. How are you today, sir?
I'm well. How are you, Kirsten? Good to hear from you.
Good. So you have 40 years experience in radio, 29 years experience in stand-up, and you know marketing. So wow, you've got a lot going on. What are you doing right now? What's on your plate right now?
Well, I have my own company, ColeCut
Mhm.
Sound. Um, After 40 years, well, say 37 years or so in major market radio and marketing and advertising in major market radio and television, um, the corporate world came in and decided that they don't need people anymore. I broke off, did my own thing, and with that time during COVID. Well, let's go back before. What my job entailed was meeting with local, regional, and large businesses who
Mhm.
wanted to advertise. And what I noticed was a lot of bad ads out there. If I asked you right now and you had to, create your own company, create an ad for me. Tell me about yourself. What do you do?
Mhm.
And what 85% of the population is going to do is give me a visual or audio resume. We do this, we do that, we take care of this, blah, 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 blah. And what you end up is an audio self-serving
Yeah.
resume. People just kind of tout their own attributes, and which is dangerous because imagine going to a high school reunion or college reunion, whatever, after 20 years, and there's always someone in that group that you'll meet who never stops talking about themselves. Hi, what do you think about me? Let's talk about you. Tell me about me. And you're going to fade away from them.
Yeah.
But then you're going to ask these certain people. You're going to have engage in a great thing called conversation, where
Mhm.
it's sharing and exchanging of ideas. That's really what a good marketing ad should be. It's, what is your situation? Well, the answer to that is the name of the brand is my company, my business, whatever we're going to do.
Yeah.
And when I would meet with thousands, I can't remember how many thousands of clients that I met, a lot of times I would ask them basic questions when they came in because they just had their script.
Yeah.
Why don't we do this, we do that, we do this. And so, oh, great. I said, look, can you put that down for a second and answer a few questions about me? I said, what do you know about this industry? I said, pretty much nothing. I said, other than what I've heard. Okay. So who created this ad? It was either them or a sales rep or part of their management team, and they created what they've heard. Everything what we hear
Mhm.
is just bloviation. So I said, we want to change this paradigm. And I asked him a series of questions. On your way over here, did you hear any ads on the radio? It's like, yeah, I heard about, I don't know, 15 or 20. I said, tell me all of them. All of them? Okay, tell me one. Okay, it was for blah, 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 car dealership ad. Okay, in that 60 or 30 seconds, tell me everything that you heard. And they'll freeze. Oh, well, and they'll go into the memory bank of ads they've heard in the past 10 years or 5 years and whatnot, and just
Mhm.
start to give this regurgitated answer, that you would normally give in a high school class about,
Yeah.
which is a lot of BS. And they really wouldn't know. And I said, so how is anybody going to remember what's important for you? I said, because look, you wake up every day and you're doing your business. I'm not.
Yep.
But eventually I will. And it's really to plant seeds. Then I'll ask them another question. Let's say, I don't know, Acme Plumbing Company. I said, tell me, I'm going to give you 2 seconds. 2 seconds. That's an eternity in an advertising industry. 2 seconds. What's the most important thing you could tell me about what's your business? Acme Plumbing. Spell it. Oh, ACME PLUMBING. All right, tell me everything. Acme Plumbing. Acme Plumbing. You showed, and I'm saying their name over and over. I said, okay, you have 2 seconds to tell me the most important thing about Acme Plumbing. Ready, set, go. We are the number one in sales and service. Well, okay, time is all up. So the name of your company is called We're the Number One in Sales and Service. Yeah, what? What are you talking about? I said, what's the name of your company? I said, wouldn't that be the most important thing, Acme Plumbing? And and it explains to them that you live in that bubble.
Mm-hmm.
All businesses do. We all do. We all live in the bubble of our own world.
Yeah.
Because how do we drive around? We have an audio system, the car seat, everything, the heater, the air conditioning, everything is adjusted to our needs. So it's not a car, it's a living room. And same thing with our television, our those entertainment areas have, remember old houses, they used to have a front porch, which no one uses anymore. And the dining room is pretty much gone. You use that 2 or 3 times a year. Now it's all about the TV room, the entertainment room. That has taken over everything. And it's a massive screen now. Everything's wham, it's like a movie theater. I mean, if you took people from the 1940s and early 50s for televisions were this big to now,
Mm-hmm.
wow, look what it is. I mean, it's destroyed the movie industry, going to theaters, whatnot. So now it's all there. But still, so we have all these great ways to listen. We have all, high fidelity, high HD, 4K. It's great.
Mm-hmm.
But what are you going to say in your messaging? You have everything that when you meet with a sales rep at a television or radio station, you're going to go over numbers. You're going to go a ton of planning. Well, this ad's going to play. That we play to this demo, great. So you know where and when these ads are going to play. What are you going to say? What are you going to say? Wouldn't this be the most important thing rather than just spewing out what you do and where you are? And after I would give them this talk, that was, it was 30-minute talk, I think 98% of them said, you should write a book. You have to write a book. And so this is what I did, creating a
Yep.
better message in a message. This is volume 1. This came out around 2 months ago. The volume 2 comes out later on this summer. And I've written so much that they say, well, there's probably a third book out of this as well, because I just find myself just cranking it out. I didn't want to write them. I felt the need to. I felt I had to write them,
Mm-hmm.
mainly for the fact that the entire industry is being changed now. Not just radio, not just television, not just social media. It's our listening habits. And
Yep.
what's your point? Come on, get to the point. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. That's the way we live everywhere. Everything is microwave oven. Everything is fast commuting. I mean, if we could have bullet trains and hyperlinks, we'd have them. If
Mm-hmm.
the infrastructure can deal with it, but we don't. In the meantime, say it. What do
Yep.
you do? Who are you? What do you do? How can I get a hold of you? But it should be engaging. And really, this is where it trains not only the small business owner, medium business owner, but the sales rep as well. Because unfortunately, they're the ones doing it. Because when in
Mm.
these massive corporate layoffs, they got rid of guys like me, women like
Mm-hmm.
me, who they're the ones who sit down with the client and they say, okay, let's create this. In order to have a really high end ad, you're going to spend 10, 15, 20 times that amount. So the way it worked before was a
Yep.
radio station or television station would say, if you want to do your ad, you're paying for not only the times, but you're paying in an added into the cost is free production, free creative, and free writing. Okay, so they sell that as it's free. Well, now those people are gone. Now what you do
Mm-hmm.
is go online and they give you pay. I don't know if you insert your credit card, but I've spoken to a lot of sales reps who told me this is where it's almost automated. You
Mm.
come in, you have your box, and you write your own ad. So now it's back to the beginning, where whoever it is, the plumbing company, the electrical, the local business owner is writing their own ad. Are they educated? No, because they're just going to give you that audio resume again.
Yep.
So what this book touches on is not just how to use pronouns and right words and key selling phrases. It comes down to this, because one question I would always, one statement I would always say to anyone who is creating an ad,
Hmm.
what the listener, what the viewer discovers is much more important than what you're telling them. Do you want to know a great place to go this weekend? Because I know a great place. And I'm going to tell you eventually. Now, I'm
Yeah.
not telling you what it is, but now so is it. That what this place has is
Hmm.
an outdoor pool, a lounge, and it has phenomenal food. It has great beverages, blah, blah, blah. And I can go on and add this on, but I'm not telling you where or what this place is. Now I'm intriguing you, I'm enticing you. And it's usually backwards, where the final answer is you, is who you are.
Hmm.
Now, you also have people, look, we all have ADD now. It's media induced ADD. And that's what makes it easier for me to create an ad, because I have it. Oh, look, a bird just went by. What are we talking about? Hey, while I'm reading this or while I'm hearing it, a little snap will go off in my head to say, I'm now fading away. Keep my
Yep.
attention, hold me right into there. And the same thing works. That's why for so many years it became easier for me to
Hmm.
to deal with audiences, to know that slowly, I mean, because of the internet now, it's their attention span is waning. It's
Mm.
quicker. It's quicker. What's TikTok? I mean, it's like 5 or 6 seconds. Instagram, the word Insta right there. I mean,
Hmm.
it might as well be a beverage that you make.
Yep.
Everything is quick, quick, quick to the point. And so we have an entire, well, really now 2 generations that have grown up with the internet. And is it going to get slower? I seriously doubt it if it will. It's only going to get quicker. And therefore, your statements have to resonate. They have to they have to be spot on, the timing, um, right there. I mean,
Yep.
it's right. Effective sound really should be visual. If it is just an audio ad, you have to know what does this person look like? What does this place that they're describing look like? Because that's audio is really visual.
I
Anyone
love that.
if you shut these off, you shut these
Hmm.
screens off right now, the whole
Yep.
dynamics of our conversation will change totally, because people are going to envision whether or not a person's voice they're trying to conjure up in their mind what they look like. That's 10 times more powerful than any ad. Right here, everything about me is within this screen. They
Yep.
see it, see the background, they see the color of the jersey, whatnot. They see your microphone in front. Boom. Now,
Yep.
that could either help or hinder a message. So all of
Yes.
these are taken into the equation as well. I can go
Fantastic.
forever with
No,
in
that's
talking.
wonderful. And I was cracking up partway through because that conversation of what is the most important thing? What is the most important thing? You did that with me, and I completely was like, um, uh, well, we do this, and you're like, nope. And when you said, it's the name of your company, I was like, oh, like it literally made me stop and go, oh,
Because
I didn't tell
every
them who
day
I am.
you wake up thinking about your mark, your brand, and
Yep.
when you think about it, there are how many people on the planet Earth? We are all our own brand. Marketing is everywhere.
Yep.
Advertising and marketing are everywhere. When a waiter comes up to you and um, gives you the specials of the day, that's marketing right there. The way that they present themselves.
Hmm.
Name, a person answers the phone. Thank you for calling. How can I help you?
Yep.
Uh, uh, everything today. And we're taught when we meet someone, hello, how are you? A smile. The reason why we get braces when we're younger is to use them and smile, is disengage people when we're meeting them. So why should someone be forceful and say, "Hey, buy from me right now because we're the best, we're number one." Everybody says this,
Yeah.
and this is all what's been coined as ad speak. For
Hmm.
all your driveway paving needs, for all your, I mean, I heard one ad once which blew my mind. For all your, it was for a bottled water company, for all your drinking needs. Like, well,
All your
yeah,
drinking needs.
all your
Really?
drinking. Well, what if one of your drinking needs was to get drunk? I mean, hey, you
Y-
haven't, that's what Budweiser's for,
Your
and
your
tequila.
water is alcoholic? Really? Yeah.
Well, if it's, yeah, no, I mean, for all your drinking needs doesn't necessarily mean water.
Yeah.
So it's really to quench your thirst, but it's also to get drunk for some
Yep.
people. But all of your driveway paving, these are just useless words, useless phrases,
Hmm.
overused so much that everyone else just employs them, picks them out of the ad speak garden, and places them up there. Because I'll ask a lot of my clients, or all of them, and say, "Who wrote this?" I said, "Be honest." He said, "Well, I did." When was the last time you were in this position? And it's usually in college or high school, when in 55, in 500 words or less, tell me why Mesopotamian culture was, different from the Greeks or the Roman culture. You're just you're going to throw in terms of, and all of these useless phrases just to fill in the box. And then what are you
Hmm.
going to do? You got to repeat, "Oh, we got to add our phone number." And people don't even remember phone numbers anymore. What they do is they grab this, they speak
Yeah.
into it. Acme Plumbing, where it is, and that
Hmm.
is where it's gone now. And but everything is here. Everything is moved to
Everything's mobile.
this, or
Yeah.
whether it's on a watch. So if I'll be you'll name the platform, Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. That's
Yep.
really where people are going. But the message still has to resonate. And if it doesn't, it's wasted.
So, when you and I were talking before this, you were saying that empathy is key. Can you speak more about that? About how
Absolutely.
empathy is required?
When we have a conversation, when anyone has a conversation, this starts off, and it doesn't have to be political. It people you everyone wants to make their point about
Yep.
something, but empathy is, I talk about in this book. When I was a young boy, I would go with my grandmother. I'd stay with my grandmother once in a while, have a sleepover. He lived in the next town, my grandparents. And my grandfather would go off to work, and I was like 5 or 6. So she'd carry me up to the town square.
Hmm.
And this was before supermarkets weren't in this area. So you'd have the meat market. You had the drugs, the apothecary, not the drugstore. You would have the bakery, all of these specialty stores. So rather underneath one massive supermarket roof, she would go in, but she knew everyone. Hello, Mrs. Murphy. How are you today? And I've got a nice ribeye roast for your husband on all of that. They knew her.
Yeah.
And so with this is, I understand Kristen Rourke. I understand that she has a family. I understand that, and it's empathy. It's really,
Hmm.
it's understanding the needs. When I hate using that word, because we understand all your needs. Well, this is really understanding what you want, what you're looking for,
Hmm.
without talking about it and saying, "Look, you've got a, you've got a situation. We know what that's. I know what that's like. I know what it's like to deal with that. This is the solution, is going to be this, this, and this, and this. Say your name, boom, into the phone." That's how it's worked today. And that's the only way to do it. I'm not going to just start creating ads because, oh, this one's going to be funny. Oh, it might win an award. Who cares? The bottom line is 5, 6 weeks or a few months down the road, how are your sales? Are people picking up the phone? Are people calling you? Are they going online? Are they visiting you? That's all this comes down to now. It always was that way, but it gets lost. It gets lost in the circus
Mm.
of microphones and airwaves and lighting and
Yep.
all of the Hollywood involvement that and it's exciting because I've done plenty of voiceovers for I'm doing one for a bank, and I noticed that everyone in the bank was there. I was like, who's minding the vault back at the work? They're here to play. Oh, they're here to play radio. That's what they want. So they were did it in amazingly, I did it in one take, which is
Okay.
doesn't always happen. Okay, we'll do a safety. You did a few. I was in and out of there. They were happy with the read. Everything went off. But then they realized, oh, we got to go back to work. And they just ordered food. And all these, the delivery person came in with all these bags of Thai food and all this, and they're having a great time. It's like, should I go? Oh, maybe you should go back. And I was there for a good 45 minutes to an hour longer than it should have been because I knew and they knew that the read that I did was fine. And I asked
Yep.
later on, I asked the engineer, what take did you go with? They said, oh, that first take was the one they
Yep.
went with. And they figure, well, we're paying for this and all that. And it's easy to get caught up in
Yeah.
that atmosphere. They'll come into my studio and they'll see the lights and the big board and all of the computers going and ooh, even before when there were reel-to-reel tapes, the olden days
Hmm.
when we had that, and they wow, they it's not their
Yeah.
world, so they're a little starstruck by that. And then when they're in front of the microphone, they don't really know how they sound. This is dangerous. It's very dangerous. It makes them feel good. But there are a lot of advertising agencies and media outlets who will take advantage of this. And the
Mm.
loser is the person spending money for this. Hence the book. So that's what this does. And I want to get this as an online course as well to because from what people say, no one reads books anymore. So there are audio versions of it as well. But it's just to look, this is a science. It's a pseudoscience of listening habits, of viewing habits, of buying habits, and how people relate to not just an overall industry or brand, but
Hmm.
your specific name.
So, did you do the recording of your own audiobook? I'm assuming you did.
I did. What I did was because it was more fun. Was I added certain sound effects behind it to enhance it, to liven it up a little bit. And there's a gentleman in Australia, Tony Pisanelli. He rewrote the Phoenix Career Principles. He said, "Can you do that for my book as well?" So I did. So I added another dimension to it and added more sound effects
Nice.
and atmospheric resonance to it.
So, you're working on the
And he said,
second book?
so I'm working on this. I'm pretty much finished with the second book as well as the
Okay.
third. I'm just in the editing process now with my publisher to get it going.
Fantastic.
And
Can you hold up the first book again?
I can. This as well. There's one right here as
Yes,
well.
right
This,
there. Yep.
this is a better message in a mess age. That's really what we live in. We live in a mess age. It's an over communicated society where
Hmm.
we're being just bombarded with constant messages. I mean, every day you
Yeah.
can go online and how many advertising or marketing messages are we exposed to on a daily basis? That's anywhere from 3 to 5,000.
Yeah.
Now that includes a meat truck going by, a
Hmm.
FedEx truck driving by, or the mail, reading the mail, going online, forget it. I mean, the banner ads
Yeah.
that pop up there. So when people don't even realize, even our clothing apparel, just seeing Nike or Adidas on
Hmm.
a pair of shoes, we're exposed to this constantly. Is it lucrative? You tell me. Of course it is. When you look in the back of your computer alone, you'll see either a Dell or an Apple or a Dell or Microsoft, whatever the product is. It's there constantly. Look around your
Yeah.
room, and we're oblivious to it because it's such a part of our culture. now, and
Yeah.
there's so many venues to get it. But what is the message? Rather than just your name, got to know, because people basically, it's not that they don't care. It's just they're just people. It's not that I don't care about you. I have my own life to live. So what can you do for me is really what the key is.
Fantastic. So I'm going to ask you one final question, which is if you could give one piece of advice about ongoing mastery in your work, what would you advise people coming into the field, coming into the work? What would you advise them?
Coming into this industry,
Mm-hmm.
or wanting to advertise. I'm not sure exactly.
Coming into your industry. So somebody who wants to be you, basically.
What the listener, like as I said before, what the listener, what the reader, what the viewer discovers is far more important than what you're telling them. They need to be enlightened.
Fantastic. I love that. That's a perfect pull quote. So I'm gonna leave it there. Can you tell everybody where they can find you?
Um, I'm at ColeCuts.com, ColeCuts, Coleman, ColeCuts,
Yep.
you got to spell it. This is ColeCuts.com. I'm on Michael Coleman on Instagram, Facebook, on LinkedIn as well, and my book is on it's on Amazon, and it's
Fantastic.
whether it's on Kindle, paperback, and in audiobook as well.
All right. Wonderful. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you giving me time today. That was super helpful and that
Thank
was
you.
fun. Thanks so much.
It was
And
great.
everybody who's
Great.
watching, oh, sorry. I'm sorry about that. I cut you off.
No. I said it's great speaking with you, because that's an operative word. It's nice talking to you. A
Yeah.
lot of people, it's like, well, people talk. A lot of times they don't absorb.
Yeah.
That may be another one. Sponge. I always tell my sons, be a sponge in life. I said anything that's good or bad, remember that moment. It's the only way we're going to learn. It's school will never end after you graduate. That's when it begins. You just don't have the professors to give you a grade afterwards or redirect you. You become your own instructor after that,
Yep.
and that's
It
when
never
we need a
ends.
little bit more of that in society now.
Definitely. So I'm going to wrap it up here and ask everybody who's watching or listening to go ahead and make comments below on any of the services that you discover this. And please tag other people, share it, and let us know what you think. We'll see you next time. Thanks so much.